Hello, welcome back to the channel for a Watford FC transfer update. Today we're going to be talking about two players, James Abankwah and Caleb Wiley. And we'll start with James Abankwah because his face is on the thumbnail for the video that you clicked on. And yeah, some interesting comments and news coming out of Cleverley's most recent pre-match press conference. He doesn't usually speak on transfer speculation until these things are confirmed, but he did come out before the final game of the season and say that James Abankwah is currently in discussions with Watford to extend his loan for an additional year. And my first reaction to seeing this news was actually a bit of surprise, because Abankwah, I believe several months ago when he was making kind of his Irish international debut at senior level, he gave a couple of interviews to local Irish press, the Irish newspapers, the online kind of media sites, and it seemed to me from his comments that he really wanted to kind of make a name for himself in the Serie A next season at Udinese. So to see that he's open to discussions and should be at Watford next season is a real pleasant surprise. And ever since James Abankwah arrived in January alongside Egil Selvik, our defence has looked much stronger. I think James Abankwah has so many things about his game that I love. He has kind of the low centre of gravity that I enjoy watching in most footballers, where they can turn quite easily away from their man. His recovery pace is also clearly fantastic, especially when he plays alongside Kevin Cabem, which I do feel long term is probably our best centre-back partnership if Kevin Cabem can stay fit. But his best attribute for me is his ball carrying, his close control, and combine that with his physicality, his low centre of gravity. He makes for a really exciting centre-back. Sometimes this season, when he's brought out the ball, I mean, he's literally covered the entire length of the pitch at times. He's kind of gone from centre-back all the way to the opposition's penalty area, just on his own, really, at times, which is incredible to watch. Now, don't get me wrong, he had a fantastic start to his Watford career, but since he got that red card at Oxford, I do feel his form towards the end of the season has tailed off slightly. There's a few unnecessary mistakes. I feel like he takes sometimes too many risks on the ball when he should just clear it into row Z, but that is to be expected with a young player like Abankwah. And next season, hopefully, under Tom Cleverley's guidance, if Cleverley stays, which I hope he should do, I think he can go on to be a real top centre-back in this division. So to hear that should be happening is great news. And yeah, I can't wait to see Abankwah at Watford next season. Caleb Wiley was another player Tom Cleverley spoke about in his press conference. Now, this was a story I actually first reported about a month or so ago. I think it was kind of end of March, early April time that I posted about this on our social pages. An exclusive story. I got a tip off from someone very close to Caleb himself that they had open discussions with Watford and Chelsea to extend his loan for an additional season. Now, when Caleb Wiley signed in January, the deal was questioned by many in the Watford fan base, including myself. He signed essentially injured for 2 to 3 months. We didn't see Caleb Wiley make an appearance until just before the March international break, I think it was. So quite rightly, fans were confused, frustrated, and bemused as to why we signed an injured player. But since he come into the side, like we just spoke about with Abankwah, he has been quality, and for me is a clear upgrade in that left-back department over Yasser Larouchi. Now, left-back is a position we've struggled in for many years now, since kind of COVID, really. I think Hassan Kamara, for me, was probably the last bit good, decent left back we had at the club. And since then, we've had Jamal Lewis, Yasser Larouchi, Sema was in and out of the side. It was a bit weird for quite a long period of time. But Caleb Wiley, for me, is a Chelsea loanee. He's got high value. He's young. He's a USA international. He's clearly very technically good on the ball. I think this is a move that will happen. From what I've been told, it's extremely likely. It's almost done, essentially, from everything I've heard. And for him to be at Watford next season, given the end of the season we've had and the circumstances around the club, I think is fantastic. And it solves an area of the pitch that we won't have to then look at in the summer transfer window. Now, we did a video here in the Watford Way 2 or 3 months ago about a report from Africa saying that Yasser Larouchi had signed a permanent contract with Watford that had yet to be announced. And Caleb Wiley signing for an additional year, alongside Larouchi staying on a permanent deal, if that report was true, makes perfect sense to me. So for both Abankwah and Wiley, I'm very happy to hear that they will be staying for another year. So let me know your thoughts on both deals in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe to The Watford Way. Make sure to follow us across all social platforms so you don't miss out on any breaking Watford transfer news during the summer transfer window. We're on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and of course here on YouTube. And I'll catch you after the final game of the season for my post-match reaction. Bye-bye.